old fans crash out, lose their mind, and scream white privilege. It is hilarious watching these people melt down over the most minuscule things. Over the smallest little things. Watching these folks melt down, go hysterical, lose their mind, rant, rave, complain. Oh my God, I can't believe.
Social media is going crazy over the biggest basketball story of the day. According to reports, Caitlin Clark is involved in a $150 million Ferrari purchase, which is currently a hot topic of conversation worldwide. Additionally, viewers are even more intrigued by Ya Wilson's possible response. It may be a historic moment for both Clark and women's basketball as a whole if she actually gets such a huge contract from a multinational corporation like Ferrari. Fans from all over the world immediately take notice of any significant endorsement story involving Clark, since her fame has already spread well beyond the WNBA. However, Ya Wilson is also one of the league's biggest and most successful athletes, so having both names associated with the same significant story has heightened fan debate. There are rumors swirling about a huge possible agreement between Caitlin Clark and Ferrari, with some estimates placing the worth at an astounding $150 million. However, how much of this is merely conjecture on the internet, and how much is genuinely verified? Fans are talking about Ya Wilson and the potential impact of this huge deal for women's basketball at the same time. Given that Caitlin Clark has already established herself as one of the most well-known figures in the sport, both on and off the court, it should come as no surprise that significant endorsement rumors about her elicit strong emotions. Regarding the assertion that Ya Wilson went off, it's crucial to distinguish between verified facts and conjecture because viral headlines may inflate emotions. What might Clark's relationship with Ferrari entail? Is a $150 million deal truly possible? And why does the WNBA get so excited about every big Clark story? Join us as we analyze the narrative, the responses, and potential outcomes. All right, I need you to have a seat because the announcement that was made in the previous 48 hours is more than simply a sponsorship. The way the world views female athletes has drastically changed, and the reactions are already dividing the basketball world. Ferrari recently signed Caitlin Clark, a comprehensive worldwide ambassadorship with one of the world's most exclusive luxury companies, not a social media post or one-time appearance. Sophie Cunningham also shared her thoughts on the matter. And believe me when I say that people are talking about it almost as much as the actual deal. Please leave CC 100% love in the comment section if you adore Caitlin Clark. Additionally, there is a layer to this story that no one has yet to connect with. So please remain until the very end. Just a little favor before we get started. You are among the 70% of viewers that watch our videos without subscribing. If you are watching this and haven't done so, simply press the button. It's not costly. It takes 0.5 seconds and it enables us to continue providing you with excellent content. Okay, let's start. Here is what we know then. Caitlin Clark has been designated a global brand ambassador for the Scuderia Ferrari lifestyle segment, according to many stories that have been verified by Ferrari's own communication staff. We're talking about clothing ads, Formula One paddock appearances, and this a custom-designed cooperation line is what really caught my attention. Ferrari doesn't do this anymore. In the past, this company has collaborated with Formula One drivers, a few football players, and possibly elite tennis players. Team sport athletes from North American leagues are not signed by them. The wall suddenly collapsed. According to a person close to the negotiations, Clark's representative said, I'm paraphrasing, finding the largest check wasn't the goal here. Caitlin desired a companion who shared her values. It wasn't the other way around. Ferrari came to us. Take a music moment to consider that Ferrari went after her. This doesn't just happen. Let's go back a little. Remember how the internet went crazy when Clark showed up at All-Star Weekend in March wearing that special Italian leather jacket? At an Indianapolis charity banquet, there were pictures of Ferrari executives that were written off as coincidental. It wasn't a coincidence. They were gatherings. That's the kind of information that makes folks feel uneasy about how long this was going on and who else was aware of it. This leads us to Sophie Cunningham, whose response is the point at which the entire situation changes from a business narrative to one that is far more intimate. A 15-second video was uploaded on Cunningham's Instagram story. She was sitting in her car staring straight at the camera and saying, quote, I'm just so genuinely happy for her, without any captions or tags. People are unaware of the amount of effort she puts in off the court. Actually, they don't. And you know what? This is beneficial to each and every one of us. The video finished when she paused, gave a gentle shake of her head, and grinned. Here's what I want you to focus on now. The head shake. The pause. If you haven't already, watch it again. It wasn't staged. For the past 2 years, Sophie Cunningham has been among the most divisive individuals in the Caitlin Clark discourse. She has been portrayed as an agitator, a villain, and someone who despises Clark's ascent. And in only 15 seconds, she destroyed that whole story without the help of a PR staff or media coaching. She refrained from saying, "Good for the league. Good for everybody. Every single one of us. That's specific." She stated, "That's a player that is sick of acting that way for the cameras because they know that a rising tide does in fact raise other boats." This is where things become even more intriguing, though. Not everyone had the same thoughts. Chinese, an ESPN analyst and former player, gave her podcast a more considered perspective, stating, music quote, "I think it's phenomenal for visibility. Yes, I do. However, I also believe that when one company operates in the Ferrari market, while the rest of the league competes for local auto dealership places, the disparity reveals information about investment objectives." That's a valid statement, and to be honest, it's courageous. Few individuals in that media ecosystem are prepared to thread that needle, but she is pointing out the discrepancy without holding Clark accountable. In the meantime, Commissioner Kathy Angelberg issued a brief statement praising the agreement as a historic occasion for the WNBA and women's sports in general. However, what most people overlooked was that she omitted Clark's name. Go over that statement once more. It states, "A double athlete, not Caitlin Clark. It is not coincidental that your single largest commercial asset is so far away from your institution." That's a communications team making a conscious decision about how closely one player's personal brand aligns with the league's official message. What does that tell you then? I would want to take a moment now to make a MyDV video request. Please hit the like button if you think this breakdown is useful. It actually alters the number of people who see this video and lets me know that you want more in-depth analysis like this. Okay, let's continue. All right. Let's take a closer look at what's going on because the deal itself isn't the true narrative. It's what the agreement makes clear about the current location of power. The WNBA is not necessary for Ferrari. Music Caitlin Clark is essential. That distinction is really important. When a brand of that size completely eschews the league in favor of going straight to the player, it signals to all other companies that the individual has become more valuable than the institution. Consider the implications for the upcoming television rights negotiations. The league must demonstrate its collective value when it enters the room. Additionally, every network executive seated across the table is already aware that a single person can individually command Ferrari-level attention for the league. That is not a negotiating advantage. That is a vulnerability disguised as a headline. Some may argue that this is exactly how it worked with Michael Jordan and Nike, and the NBA managed to thrive just fine. However, there are some issues with this parallel. Magic, Bird, Hakey, Barkley, Music, and Shaq were all running separate businesses in the NBA at the same time. There was a distribution of economic weight. Concentration rather than dispersal is what the WNBA is currently experiencing. 3 tiers above the next top earning in the league, one player is performing. When Patrick Mahomes' off-field assets started to outweigh entire franchise marketing budgets, the NFL faced a fundamentally similar situation. In response, the league actively developed secondary stars through scheduling and media access regulations. The WNBA has yet to make a countermove, and the longer they music wait, the greater the disparity. Based on everything I'm monitoring, this is my forecast. Clark's off-FC court earnings will force the league's board of governors to have a formal policy discussion about individual player marketing rights, revenue sharing from personal endorsements, and whether the league needs a luxury tier player classification, which doesn't currently exist within the next 18 months. The relationship between every club, every player, and every cash passing through the system is restructured once the conversation begins, which makes it the crucial domino. Where does it leave us then? A 24-year-old recently made history by becoming the first female basketball player to collaborate with one of the most prestigious companies in history. A former opponent simply announced in public that everyone had one. Even the commissioner of the league found it difficult to pronounce the name. And somewhere in a boardroom, individuals are quietly realizing that a franchise expansion vote or a television contract won't determine this league's existence.